as I mentioned, I think at the top of this show, when we started doing it, I had not been able to see SmackDown because of what was it? Was that Friday night? I guess I told somebody today at the bank I lost my power on Saturday night, but it wasn't. It was Friday night.
That's right. SmackDown doesn't air on Saturdays.
Yeah, well, that's a good indication. And then it was Friday night, but my power blew up. The LG&E people were out in force fixing the electricity, but not until Saturday morning. So I had to catch up on SmackDown through illicit means. I'm glad that Jay Sharknado is hooked up to the black web, or what is it? The dark web, the black web?
Dark web.
The worldwide black web. So he can get all these things, but they were at the Yum Center. 18 miles from me, 17 miles, 17 and a half, thereabouts, and I couldn't see it. But by the way, the Yum Center, can you tell how steep that building is on television? Could you see those seats just going straight up?
I didn't really notice, actually.
Holy shit. I've been in that building a couple of times, and one time I was on the side down low, and the other time I was in the top up high, and you'll get vertigo in that building. It is fucking steep. They dug a giant fucking hole in downtown Louisville and then built the Yum Center half in the hole and then half out of it. So it's twice as deep as you see when you go into it. It's an amazing thing. But if you fell from the top row, you would keep on rolling till you got down to ringside. Have I stalled enough? Can we talk about the wrestling now?
Well, it was a very different episode of SmackDown as opposed to the ones we usually review.
Well, and that's true. This was August 25th, and obviously the main attraction of this program, for us at least, maybe for a lot of people, was the tributes to both Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. And, you know, they had all the talent, everybody, all the on-camera personnel out on the stage, and a big split screen, which I thought was tremendous of them to do, because Bray Wyatt could have taken up all the oxygen, you know, in that instance, because he was current, he was modern, he's, you know, had been a part of their program right now, but they still honored Terry because of how many people that are there that he probably either inspired or helped or whatever. But Michael Cole did a nice announcement. He's good on things like that. That's his news background coming out. And they did the 10-bell salute, and then right into that Bray Wyatt video, which was incredible work. I mean, you know, we talk all the time about how their studio and their production people are, you know, the stars of that promotion. In a lot of cases, they make the chicken salad. But you can tell they put special work in that. Whoever was leading the charge, it was, you know, because they went through, obviously, in what, you know, they had
a day, 2 days?
A day, you know, not even 2 days. They had a 24 hours maybe, and they had to go through every piece of video they ever shot of this guy. And it was just, you know, there were a lot of tears on the stage, and, you know, you could tell the love they put into it and the work they put into it, that they wanted to make that special. I think, you know, and then when when they came back out of it, the fans saying he's got the whole world in his hands, and they did the fade to black on the empty rocking chair in the spotlight. And, you know, say what you want again about, and we do many times, about the WWE's product, but nobody does better television. You know, that's their thing. And unfortunately, that's what hampers the wrestling a lot, is nobody does better television. But in this case, you know, you couldn't have done anything better.
It was really touching and, you know, it was surprising, pleasantly surprising. And I hate to say that considering what we're talking about, that Terry Funk received equal billing with Bray Wyatt. Because like we said before, Bray Wyatt came up with a lot of these guys, although a lot of them were around Terry Funk at one point or another. And he is an industry legend. Great video, impactful opening. Michael Cole did a great job. They had Eric Rowan, Redbeard, former member of the Wyatt family, up there. I hate to say you are happy to see someone involved with something like this, but, you know, it was nice to see him there for something like this.
Yeah, he doesn't even work for him anymore, right?
I don't think so. I think the last time we saw him may have been something under the name Redbeard for AEW, either associated with Brody Lee or maybe the upstate New York Buffalo show. I forget exactly what.
But, that's, again, like you said, there's not really a lot of upside to something like this, except, it was a wonderful tribute. It's about the best that they could have done, on the video and with the opening of the program.
You know what it is? It's something that matches the way a lot of the fans are feeling. And when you tune into a show like that, if they had just gone right into the show, which they wouldn't do, especially, with Terry Funk, I don't know how different the show would have been. I don't think they would have opened with a thing like that.
Probably not.
But with Bray Wyatt, who's someone that modern fans have watched regularly for a decade, it matched what a lot, at least from the feedback we saw, it matched what a lot of them were feeling. And I think it was the show they needed in a way.
Yeah, and there were clips, and later on another video for Terry, and we'll talk about it. But that was the theme through the whole program. But I think they had to start off, because if they'd have tried to start off with, and here's, those, battling munchkins or whatever, and then tried to get serious, it would not have worked with the way the people were not only feeling, but the shocking nature of it, and it had just having happened. So that was, and for people, there are people in the world who are still not on the internet. Bless them, and I hope to join you one day. And they may not have heard when they tuned in. They may have been, oh, shit. So, anyway, then the program began technically with Rey Mysterio and Grayson Waller. So we went from the sublime to the ridiculous. And imagine that, Rey Mysterio beat Grayson Waller, but Escobar and Theory got in a fight at ringside. So obviously these ill feelings are not over with. Michael Cole actually mentioned OVW in one of the transitions coming in out of the break or whatever. Say, our former training center. Mm-hmm. Were you captivated by Io Sky versus Zelina?
I actually did watch it and I did enjoy it, yes.
Well, tell us what happened.
Io won, and because you didn't watch it, I'm not going to go too deep into it because there's no reason to, but it was a good match.
Well, good.
WWE's women know how to work. I mean, that's the problem. When you watch AEW, you see a lot of women who want to work, but just can't seem to get it down in a lot of cases. There's a few exceptions. WWE has women who can work. Io Sky is one of the better ones in the ring in the business right now. And Zelina, with the right opponent, can have a good match.
Obviously, this passes your muster.
Yes.
All righty. Let's move along then to the Cody in-ring promo, where they got Cody to be the one, and he was the perfect choice, obviously, to honor Terry Funk with his live promo, and told the story of hearing Terry call Dusty an egg-sucking dog for the very first time when he was a kid at the Denver airport. And he put both Terry and Bray over as, what did he say? Cowboys in the best of ways. And did you like the little knock where where Cody said not only did Terry go to West Texas State, he actually attended classes there, unlike a lot of other fucking wrestlers.
Murdoch didn't even go there, and he got into the alumni game.
Yes, that's been the rib for years. And for our younger listeners, West Texas State, because it was located in Amarillo and the Funks were so entrenched there and wrestling was so big there, graduated, who was it? It was Ted DiBiase.
Tully Blanchard.
Tully, Brody, right?
I think Brody. I think Kelly Kaniski, Stan Hansen.
Yeah. And as well as both the Funks.
Did Tito Santana go there?
Tito Santana, I believe. And it goes on, but of all the most famous residents of Amarillo in West Texas, Dick Murdoch, he told everybody he went to West Texas State, but he never went to college a day in his life. And by the time he got finished telling the story around town, what was it, 15, 20 years later, he played in the alumni game.
That's amazing.
So anyway,
And he played well. I don't know why. I feel like I read somewhere he played well,
yes,
too.
yes, he could do everything. He could do everything. He just didn't try hard enough to like do it legitimately. But anyway, Cody, back to Cody. He put Terry over as a guy who helped others and brought him up to his level. And there was some nice, especially the 70s and 80s little video clips and the stuff from Florida where who'd they have?
It was all Florida, really.
Well, most of it was all Florida, but Gordon Soley's son, Greg, in those days, was the guy shooting film, and they have that slow motion shit that looks so cool from the house shows and everything. But that kind of brought back what we were talking about when we did the show a few days ago with Terry, that he was bigger and meatier when he was younger and he had a more technical style. And then he slims down and becomes middle-aged and crazy, and he's doing moonsaults and fucking chaos, whatever. But the video had some clips of Terry when he did a sit down with him before the Hall of Fame, and a lot of stars putting him over from Steve Austin, on down. And, again, Cody was the perfect choice on this roster because of the family connection and his verbal ability to go out and do that. And that was a nice deal until they introduced in honor of Terry Funk, a Terry Funk hardcore match.
Yeah, that's the only wrinkle in the whole thing. Cody did a great job, and it's nice that WWE did anything. I mean, that's the nice thing.
Yeah.
And then they do a whole video, and they have the biggest babyface star in the company talking about him. And then it would be like, and here's the Jim Cornette scaffold match.
Yeah. Or even more, because mine drew money. It would be like the Jim Cornette fucking Delta Airlines fantasy pilot camp. Jim Cornette will teach you how to fly an airplane. The Brawling Brutes and the Street Profits, or now they're the Private Profit. I've lost their name myself now. I've confused this.
They were the Street Profits, yes.
Okay.
You named them the Private Profit.
All right. Well, I couldn't remember what. But none of these people have the experience in a hardcore setting potentially, nor were they going to be allowed to do it as Terry Funk. So it's like me teaching people how to fly a plane. And again, that's the superficial view that people get of Terry Funk. It was actually just an excuse to have another hardcore match. But, apart from that, it was a wonderful tribute to Terry Funk.
They were almost there. As a tribute to Terry Funk, we're going to have a Texas death match. Then you would have been like, okay, I don't know why these guys are having that match, but at least that's a Terry Funk match. Not a generic use anything around ringside match. That's not really...
But then who would have had the Texas death match and been able to figure out how to work that?
Cody
versus Dustin. He's not there.
He's not there.
The Zombies.
The Zombies?
Oh, she's not there.
Yes.
Yeah. But I can tell
Rod Argent?
I can tell you about the way she moves, the way she acts, and the color of her hair.
Well, it is the time of the season, Jim, here as we talk about the Brutes and the Profits. And did you have any other comments about the Terry Funk Hardcore Memorial Tag Team match?
I'm telling you, no. I'm telling you, no.
Very good. Tell her no.
There are fucking 6 people now that are blowing snot. And they're all music fans who are over 60.
If you don't mind, can we get back to the Odyssey and Oracle that is Smackdown?
All right, LA Knight entrance with everybody standing. As soon as they play his music and here he comes, they stand up now. Because they're sitting for most of the show these days.
I think he's one of the things that people who attend these shows look forward to. I mean, this is what it is at this point. They look forward to participating in whatever a top guy is going to do, whether it's sing their music or say their catchphrase. Yeah. He's one of the guys people look forward to being a part of his show every week.
Instead of, we're going to have to sit here and listen to this guy talk to us or at us. Hey, here comes one that we can fucking talk or sing back to him so we can get up off our ass and do something. Fucking blood clots are forming. Anyway, the reason why I like this is because even when they've started pushing LA Knight recently, they've been sending him out to just do his shtick about nothing, just with everybody saying an LA Knight and pointing and yeah. And this time he was actually talking about an issue. He's in an issue with somebody. He's pissed off at The Miz and all of that stuff that's been going on. After he put Bray Wyatt over, he started out kind of serious as a serious LA Knight and then transitioned to the promo with The Miz. But now he's getting in an issue and he has something to talk about. So he's not just the catchphrases, yes, are great, but it would have gotten old if that's all they were letting him do was come out and say the catchphrases and leave. If he says the catchphrases in the middle of a promo where he's doing new stuff every week or every time you see him, then will just swell, right? So he's doing a good job at least on the grading curve that we have now in wrestling. He's doing a good job of sounding like a wrestler mad at another fucking wrestler, which is refreshing.
People are into him, and it says a lot that they had the top babyface in the company, Cody Rhodes, go out there to do the tribute to Terry Funk. Again, to set up something else, but a nice long segment. And they had, I guess, arguably the top babyface on SmackDown, LA Knight, come out here to talk about Bray Wyatt, who, for all the talk about no one came out of a feud with Bray Wyatt for the better, one guy did.
Yeah.
LA Knight.
Yeah.
He's the one guy who actually, you could say in a way, got made by that feud. Maybe to the people backstage as much to the fans.
Well, it was a combination of the fans feeling sorry for they're just killing this guy that we kind of like, and at the same time, I think that you're right. The people in the back, whoever they may be these days, the movers and the shakers, they were like, well, fuck, I guess this guy'll do just anything we fucking tell him. And the people still aren't spitting on him. So, maybe there's something there. Wrestling works in mysterious ways. And speaking of mysterious ways, the main event on SmackDown, suddenly from us saying not that long ago, where's LA Knight? We can't see LA Knight. Now LA did the live interview, and then he's in the main event with Finn Balor, who now, Brian, help me. I'm being led to believe by what I read on the interwebs, and that sometimes is valid and sometimes not, that Priest is the one they're going to boot out of the Judgment Day instead of old Finn here.
I saw it more as Priest is the one who's going to get a big push coming out of the Judgment Day imminently, as opposed to being pushed out of the Judgment Day.
Well, but I mean,
whether they should or should not be broken up is a completely different thing, and I don't think they should. At least him, Dominic, and Rhea, I think. Dominic. Do we still call him Dominic? Dirty Dom and Rhea, they have a thing going on.
You need to call him Dominic. You need to have some respect for Mr. Mysterio there.
That's right. He's been in prison. But I think that's what it is. It's not.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to boot him out and he's going to be selling fucking apples on a street corner. I'm saying that somehow Priest be the one out of the Judgment Day and Finn stayed. Does that mean that little JD Funko McDonough comes into the Judgment Day? Now, what the fuck? Is it's like Rhea and Dom, this wild kinky couple with their fucking nerdy friend Finn and his little fucking, odd cousin. Now it was the group of cool people, and Finn kind of worked because he was standing next to all the cool people. And now it's going to become, I don't know, the fucking Addams Family? The fuck is going... Anyway, back to SmackDown. So Finn and LA Knight. And it was action. They kept it moving. I don't have a problem with Finn Balor's work. He's a professional. He's in great shape. I don't think he fits the picture of this gothic super group. And, now they're doing a thing with LA Knight. He goes out and it's a genius because, again, all these other motherfuckers are taking these super paralyzer Canadian pile destroyers off the top rope through furniture. And LA Knight's got it over where he goes, takes the guy out, and runs his head into the flimsy, like fucking salad bar shield on the announce desk. And that wouldn't hurt anybody. And he just keeps running their head into it. And the people go, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's more reaction than people being stretchered out on a spatula. And then finally, they, got into it. Heat, come back. LA Knight's power slam, the LA elbow, got a 2 count. He got his leap to the top and superplex in and hit his finish 1, 2, 3 over Finn Balor. And even the announcers, I believe, even said something to the effect of, this may be the biggest singles victory or whatever in LA Knight's career. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I didn't think Finn Balor was going to win. I thought that LA Knight had to win.
I didn't think it was going to be that elementary, my dear Watson. That boom, here's my finish. Boom, one time. Thank you for coming. But it shows they've got confidence in LA, and Finn's involved in other shit.
What about the overall show, though? With a show with this tone, would WWE just want to leave people with a very simple, happy ending?
Probably, because, and then after that match, I should mention that then they did the deal where all the lights go off and the power goes out, and they closed the show with the lantern lit in the rest of the place in darkness, which again was great television. I'm not saying that, I expected a Mid-South wrestling angle at the end. I'm saying it shows they really got a lot of confidence in LA Knight, that there wasn't more. I'm not saying 13 people running in or juice or whatever, but, some more complicated fashion that LA Knight's going to beat a guy of Finn's stature. But they just, boom, here you go. I'm not arguing with it. He needs to get over it. It didn't hurt Finn.
Well, that was SmackDown, and it didn't hurt us too bad.
It certainly didn't. But I'll tell you what, Brian, here on this program, my program, and I am going to tell you about one of my new friends. I've got royalty, Brian, royalty for a new friend of mine. Have you heard of the DraftKings? They're kings of draft. They're royalty. At first, actually, I thought that it was a brewery. But then I was informed that no, DraftKings is a sports book. It's fantasy sports. It's the official sports betting partner of the National Football League. And if you're official, then you got something going for you. And right now, DraftKings has just come on board here on the program to spread around a lot of money. Apparently, they got a lot of money because they're giving away, Brian, $200 if you give them $5. Now, I don't know how they stay in business doing this, but it's an amazing opportunity that I wanted to bring to all of the members of the cult of Cornette.
Say that again. What do they do?
If you give them $5, they're going to give you $200.
Really?
That's exactly what it says right here, because they've sent me their brochure. I talked to the head king over there, and he sent me the brochure. And apparently, I'm not much on the football, but apparently NFL season is right around the corner. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about this.
They're doing it again this year. Apparently, it did well last year, and they're going to do it again this year. The National Football League is having a season, and apparently, from what I'm told, once they start this shit, it goes on and on. It's practically nonstop. There's football all over the fucking place.
Well, it's going to stop. It'll stop by February.
Well, but it's nonstop until it stops.
That's right.
Because once they start, they jump in with both feet.
Until the break of dawn.
They're not just, the beat don't stop. They're not just dipping their toe in the water on this National Football League season thing. Once they start playing games, they just start playing games all over the place. Almost every goddamn day, it seems like.
It's not going to disappear off the map like that XFL garbage.
Well, there you go. See, you heard about them, and then they're gone, and you don't know whether they're coming back. But in this case, the NFL, they're pretty serious about it. And DraftKings are their official sports betting partner. And right now, This is what I'm telling you, how you're gonna make $195 here. Because right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So that's what's going to, and then all you have to do is bet correctly. Because after all, if you're going to put in $5 and they're going to give you $200, then you got $205 on the game or games of your choice, or the people or players of your particular preference. And all they got to do is go out there and do their job correctly, and you're rolling in dough. You're farting through silk.
Or maybe incorrectly. I guess you could bet against them.
Well, if you think there's some kind of fuck up, then I would encourage you to bet against them. Do they have fuck ups in the NFL?
Oh, they practically invented the fuck up in the NFL.
Well, good. Then bet against those son of a bitches all of your $205. Because again, folks, that's it. Nobody's missing out on the action this season because all DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. So if there's a day that there's a game in it, they're going to have 2 new offers in September.
Wow. Back to school.
So not only, well, there you go. It's fun for the whole family.
Well, no.
Football.
It's fun for adults. Let's be clear about this. It's fun for adults over the age of 21, I believe.
Well, I thought you were an adult when you were 18.
What does it say here?
I think there's different methods on this in the different states,
Well,
depending on what kind of county or whether you're in a commonwealth or a...
I'm receiving word right now. It's 21 plus. Age varies by jurisdiction.
Okay, well, you've got that word in now from your headset.
That's right.
And then what if you're in a parish in Louisiana? That's different than a county.
Ooh, good
There could be some Catholicism involved. But folks, once again, if you're a new customer, you can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. If you're a regular customer, and everybody should be, I think you should do this constantly every day of your life because you'll get rich quick.
Moderation, ladies and gentlemen.
Do everything in moderation as long as you binge on it.
No!
Every customer can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. I don't know what they're offering. I don't know what their morals are. It may be fun. They may have an offer that you can't resist, but they say life's more fun when you're in on the action. What kind of action are they going to give you? It depends on what they look like. But right now, and I mean the people who work for DraftKings, because they have to pass an appearance test. They have to be attractive before they can
Not true.
Entangle you in their web of, sex and sin.
Again, not true. You just went completely off copy now.
But you can download the DraftKings Sports.
Yes, you can, ladies and gentlemen. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook with code JCE.
App.
Oh, app.
You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app before kickoff.
Yes.
Do it before kickoff, or else there'll be a penalty.
They're going to kick us
off. And then
there'll
be a flag on the play. But right now, folks, is there a website? No, you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, preferably before kickoff, as we say, and then you use the code JCE. This is how you get your money, folks. Use that's what they've been waiting on, how to get their fucking money. You'll use the code JCE to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL bet. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code JCE. Now, is that clear? Use the code JCE to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL bet, but only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code JCE where you've downloaded the app before the kickoff. That's what you need to know.
That's
correct?
Right. The crown is yours.
Well, it depends on whether you want to wear it or not.
I think you win the crown even if you decide not to wear it.
Oh, so they're going to send you money and a crown.
No, it's a metaphorical crown. There's no actual crown they're going to send them.
Well, what if I've got a real head? I need a real crown. I don't have a metaphorical head.
Well, if you close your eyes, in your head, you could dream the fact that you are the crown winner. You don't need the crown to be the winner of the crown.
I'd rather have the crown jewels. Now, there's additional copy here. This is in red and in capitals. Are we supposed to... Is this a disclaimer of some sort that we are allowed to...
You know, I'm actually not even sure. I think it's part of what they definitely want read yet.
Well, it seems like because there's everything around it but flashing neon. It's red capitals with asterisks.
And it's highlighted.
So let me just buzz through this real briefly here. And folks, by the way, DraftKings Sportsbook, download the app before the kickoff. Use the code JCE, $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, parenthetically 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Sounds like a power company. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, parenthetically KS, is that in Kansas? I thought Boot Hill was in Missouri. What are these people at Boot Hill doing coming back to get us? 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. There's where we saw it. Void in Ontario. Most people are.
Oh.
ccdkng.co/football. For eligibility, did I have a stroke? ccdkng.co/football for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Order before midnight tonight. No, it doesn't say that. Chicago, Illinois, 60609. No, it doesn't say that either.
We would like to welcome DraftKings to the
yes,
show.
Yes, we'd like to say hello and goodbye. Hello, they must be going.
No, we want to say hello and welcome aboard, and we look forward to talking about your drafts and your kings much more in the future.
Who are the kings involved in the draft? I didn't think you could get drafted if you were the king. If you're already the king of a country, how could you be drafted to serve in the military?
I wonder if there was like a ceiling fan company that had to like fight them for the copyright. Like, we're the Draft Kings. We've been the Draft Kings since 1911, and our father built the first fan.
No, because draft has a bad connotation in terms of the wind business.
Right.
Because you don't want a cold...
the wind business.
Well, if you're in the wind business, if you're in the air circulation industry, but we here in the business call it the wind business. But the air circulation industry, you don't want the cold, drafty hallway. No, you want breeze. So they would be breeze fans because you'd want a cool breeze to cool you off rather than a draft to make you sick.
Well, you do want
to... Now, you don't want to be drafted in the armed services, but the Draft Kings...
Yes.
Well, what kind of draft are they? They're neither a bag of hot air nor the military service, unless these kings indeed became commissioned because they served in the military of a particular country. And then, where is the Draft Kings located? They're in Boot Hill.
Well, they have a sports book.
Well, that's different than being in like King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, where I mentioned that communist enclave. So who drafted these kings and how were they commissioned? We need to find out more about the people we're doing business with.
Well, we will continue the investigation and
talk to the NFL because they're the official sports betting partner of the NFL. So they obviously did the vetting.
Once again, the code JCE on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.